You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
All right. It's another edition of the WCB podcast, part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Oh, not much, man. What's going on, bud?
Oh, not much. Just back from the Hawks game today. I just watched the entire game and just was confused. Were the Hawks decent? Were the Hawks crap? Or was Florida just not playing good? Like, what is going on here? And I just feel like that's the theme of this season for this Blackhawks team.
Yeah. Just by the way, Jack Eichel just scored again.
Again?
Yeah.
Was it more of a legitimate goal than the first one? Did you see the first one?
I didn't see. I saw the first one. The first one was just like a tip.
Little tap in, yeah, like off the top.
Tap in. But I just pulled up the NHL page back up, and I had this game open, and I just noticed that Jack Eichel's got a second goal.
So what's the score of that game real quick?
3-0.
3-0. Okay. So I was going to say, was Eichel really, or was Buffalo really the problem, or was it Jack Eichel? Because Vegas was 0-2 since Eichel came back.
I think it's just, getting used to the new team. But whatever.
For the first time in almost a calendar year.
Hawks talk, though.
Hawks talk. Since recording, the Hawks went 2-3-1. The major highlight was beating Edmonton 4-1.
Getting Tippett fired.
Yeah, getting Tippett fired. Duncan Keith just running himself into the boards that game too.
I forgot correctly. That happened. Yeah, chasing down a puck down the ice and loses an edge and just wipes it out and hits the boards real hard. That was scary shit.
Yeah. Another good game against Winnipeg. It was a solid game. Like, that's the kind of game you need to win against a team that's obviously ahead of you in the division.
They're also playing really well right now too.
Winnipeg? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw something too that this might be Scheifele's last season with the Jets. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what the actual reasoning for that is or not. I was just one of those quick scroll and I saw it. I don't know. But anyway, Hawks talk. Probably the biggest low point of this little span since we last recorded was probably losing 5-1 to St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it's always brutal losing to the Blues. I absolutely hate it.
Never want to see it happen.
No. Columbus was a shootout.
Jesus. That was if Marc-Andre Fleury is playing that game, I think we win it by far. Because Soderblom is just not ready at that level yet, Fleury also can't play every single game.
But that was definitely a game of people that are kind of a lot of people are down on Lincoln this year, which I think is really unfair to be down on him because he's playing a lot less and he's playing with a team that just isn't doing great. But that game right there probably showed what Lincoln's value to this team is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the thing that's kind of crazy too is you see Marc-Andre Fleury just playing so much and out of his mind. I don't know if the Hawks would have half as many wins if they didn't have Fleury in that.
Oh, you'd be looking probably Montreal.
Oh yeah.
It would be ugly. Cool little fact too, though, is the next day against Dallas, both goalies get a shutout. It was 0-0 tie through the shootout. Marc-Andre with the save of the year, probably.
Yeah.
Going back door to Rob. What was it, Robertson?
I think so. I believe so.
And the most frustrating thing about that, we were talking about this in our chat earlier, was just the absolute no enthusiasm from this Blackhawks makeshift
commentary team.
If you ever needed a pat full, and a big save, that was it. What do you say? Shot. No goal. But the play's dead. There's starting to go to the circle, and then he goes, no goal. And it wasn't even an excited too. It's
yeah. But then he did mention he was Fleury with a big save, but it was just what? All right. It didn't sound like it.
Are you excited to be calling hockey games right now, or what are you doing? I don't. I straight up, the amount of games I haven't watched this year because of that was a Colby Cohen or whatever.
Yeah.
I just no, I absolutely hate that guy. Listen to him, and like he just tries to make everything about him. Like, oh, I used to be good at hockey, but now my skills are no good. I couldn't do it out there. I'd be struggling out there. Blah, blah, blah. Like, shut up, dude, and just fucking do your job. Call the game. Like, don't be annoying. Like,
Right.
I don't know what they're gonna do next year.
No, it's everything's a mess. The other weird thing about this game too was the way the shootout went. Because, like, where's like Strome and Doc in the shootout? You go DeBrincat, you go Kane, you go Lucas Reichel, which I get it. Kurashev, which I'm like, okay, like maybe a little early. You go Kubalik, and then you go Jake McCabe.
Well, Jake McCabe was talking in the post game. He's like, man, no, I was killing shootouts during practice this week. I was feeling it. I told King I was ready for it if he needed me, kind of thing. And they're like, "Oh, are you shot that he called you?" He goes, "No, I told him, use me if you need me." I go, "I scored about X amount of goals in the shootouts in practice this week, so I was good to go."
Yeah, I figured that. I mean, obviously, like everybody online is like, how do you put Jake McCabe in? Like, how do you not put Strome and Doc? And like, I get that, but like the frustration isn't as high with me because nobody, like, they do shootouts all the time in practice. Like, that's how they'll end a practice. And like, that's how they do a bunch of stuff. And if like Jake McCabe's the one that's putting the puck in consistently against Fleury, like, it doesn't matter that he's good at playing defense and he's good at being very defensive. If you're 1-on-0 with the goalie and you can put the puck in, it doesn't, like, good, fucking do it. Like, if you got that touch, like, you don't have to have that game in and game out, but like, you can step up in a situation like that and do it. Like, I mean, I think the greatest example ever is Merrick Malik, who went between his own legs.
Yeah,
way back when the shootout went to 16 rounds, and everybody's like, "What?"
That was like the greatest thing ever. Like, that was like right there. You were like, "Oh my god, is that what shootouts are going to be like?" Because I think that was the first season they had it. And you're like, "Oh my god, yes, this is awesome." And now it's so dumb. Are you looking too much? Would people be looking too much into it if you were to question, like, okay, does this mean that they have absolutely no faith in Doc or Strome in that type of situation? Or like, do you think that's kind of a fair assessment that they're kind of?
I think it goes into, like, if you look into it further, and like you said, you watch the post game, they talked to Jake McCabe, and he told Coach King, "Hey man, like, I'm feeling it this week. Like, if you need me, I'm feeling it." And King is then trusting his players, and he's like, "I've been watching. He's been scoring in shootouts. Like, it's going to be a weird call. And like, if it works, I'm going to look like a genius. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to look like an idiot." But he doesn't care because he's like, "I trust my players."
Right. I just don't know, because people like the Doc hates getting big, the Strome. See, Strome right now, Strome's on the rise, because his consistency now, like his streak is hot, or was hot at one point.
Yeah, before the last like couple of games, I think he's pointless. But he was, what I said, 9 points in 6 games between Detroit and Edmonton.
Yes, he had 4 against Detroit.
Yeah. So that was like a great little streak he went on.
They should have traded.
I thought he got a goal today, but he didn't. I guess he didn't get a stick on.
No, he missed it. No, he was tied up with the defenseman in front on that Caleb Jones one.
Yeah, I mean, he's been looking better though. Like, offensively, he's been like being utilized a little bit more, especially on the power play.
The funny thing with him on the power play I noticed today was there was a power play right where we were in the opposite end where the Hawks only shoot once. I'm watching down, and he's taking the kind of the Taves roll, sit in front of the net. He is so slow in front of the net that every time the puck goes cross ice, before he can get over to do the screen, they're already shooting the puck. Like, he has not that time down yet. So like every time there's a shot coming, he's like 5 seconds delay, like trying to get over there. It was so funny.
Like, keep your feet moving.
Yeah, but
I mean, it seems like his role is getting he's getting a little bit more ice time. I wonder if it's depending on the situation in the game, but he's getting closer to like 16, 17 minutes. Like today he played 19, but like earlier in the season, he's playing like 15 or less, and typically closer to like 10. So I wonder if that's helping him out, if he's like getting more touches, seeing the ice a little bit more. I mean, playing with Kane is very helpful too. Was it like Kane, Hagel, and Strome?
That wasn't the line today. It was Hagel.
Was it Hagel, Doc, and DeBrincat?
No,
still?
Hagel, Doc, and oh shit, what's that guy's name? Lafferty.
Lafferty. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what they're running today.
And then I think it was Strome, Kane, DeBrincat for a
Mhm.
little bit, and then they started it then turned into a blender, and it was just all over the place.
It just turns into DeBrincat and Kane out every other shift.
Essentially, yeah, he got lit up DeBrincat today by Gudas.
Yeah, by Gudas.
Oh my god,
Gudas was a big boy.
He was an angry man today.
He just literally stood there and put a little shoulder into DeBrincat, and then Strome came to his back, and I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous.
The funny thing about Gudas today, like I think he had 2 penalties. One, he was holding the stick. What's that?
I know he had the one interference.
Yeah, and on Doc, but it was so funny. Like he's a guy, like he knows he's just like the penalty. He hits the guy, the whistle blows. He doesn't even react. He just skates right to the bench. He's just like, yeah I know the deal. Like shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go.
I've been here.
But yeah, he was an angry man today. He threw some big hits.
He had 8 hits and 5 blocks.
Yeah, Dahan too. Who I was kind of surprised they gave him a fighting major, because who was it that he was going up against? Reinhardt was the only.
Was that early in the game?
Earlier, yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch like the very beginning of the game.
Where was it? It's like second period.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. So Dahan lays a hit interference. It was like towards the end of the first.
Huh, weird.
Okay. Or sorry, second. But yeah, he lays down. Kelvin Dahan lays out Marchment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's up there. You're just
was it because Marchment cross-checked Murphy in the head?
No. So what happened on that one was, Murphy lined up the hit, and the guy sidestepped to get out of the way, and then when he sidestepped, his stick came up and hit Murphy in the side of the head. Yeah,
no, I know. They showed the replay several times today, because it was still like hands together, cross check like onto the Murphy's side of his head though.
That I don't think was the same thing.
Okay.
I can't, because they wouldn't show that replay in the stadium. Because we were trying to see that, and we're like, hey, maybe they're not showing it because Murphy looks like an idiot for missing that hit or something. Like we couldn't see. But this was, Dahan is just getting is tangled up with Reinhardt after Dahan puts the hit on Marchment, and this Reinhardt's just throwing punches at Dahan, and Dahan's like still has gloves taking his hand, and just goes and like fucking judo like flips him onto the ice just so they can like get the refs in there to break it up, because he's like he can't do anything. He can't get the gloves out. He's all tangled up, so he just flips him on there. It was so funny, but yeah, it was getting physical at one point, and I'm like, this is scary because we don't have the guys to be doing that.
And they have Gudas.
Yeah, they have Gudas.
And Ekblad's a big guy too. And they have Lomberg, who's also like not afraid to take somebody's head off. And it's just like, let's not. We don't Lomberg. Have. I keep forgetting that like Reese Johnson's out, and like he was a great like grinder. And then Jujar Kara was out now still too. And
speaking of Lomberg, he is actually the one that saved Gudas from getting in a fight after the DeBrincat hit, because they were going after Gudas, and Lombard just jumped in, and I think it was Strome, but like the first guy, he just
no, Strome was the second guy, because the first guy got whoever grab. And whoever the first grab, and then Strome stepped in, and I was just like, oh my god, please don't.
But no, man, this Florida team, like they didn't look great there, but I am on their bandwagon. Like they were my pick for the Stanley Cup at the beginning of the season. Like I'm on that bandwagon because this is they can get the pieces they need. Like they can need another defenseman, I think. And if they can get a solid backup, because I don't know how Bob's gonna hold up down
Spencer Knight.
He's not doing good. I think he's down in the AHL right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple guys that might be available come the trade deadline.
Yeah. So nice little transition into that. Real quick, any other things that stood out from the games?
Arvid Soderblom is not.
Yeah, he's not good.
7 goals. I don't know. There was a couple empty netters. Also, we give up so many fucking empty net goals. It's insane. It's at least whenever we pull our goalie, there's at least 2 empty net goals scored every time.
Yeah,
and it's ridiculous. Today, that's what drove me crazy today. Is like they have the puck in the neutral zone, they dump it in, and they don't gain control of the puck, but they're still already pulling Fleury. They break it out, and then it's an easy tap in because everybody's like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
that's what we were saying. Like, why are you pulling the goalie when you don't have possession in the zone?
Right. Drives me crazy.
No sense.
I think they gave up an empty netter against Columbus because that's how Laine got a hattie. He's got multiple hat tricks against the Hawks in his career. I don't even know if they gave up an empty netter in St. Louis because that's a 5-1 loss. They might have if it was. I don't even know. But yeah, man, it's just every time they're losing and they pull the goalie, I just know it's not going to end up well.
Yeah. Yeah. The last thing I'll say about the games, Kanner's goal today was fucking filthy.
Yeah, he's so
just behind the net and just banking it in. He also had an assist today on Caleb Jones' power play goal, which gave him second place overall for most assists in franchise history.
Pretty great.
So he's moving up, and he's only like 300 and something away from Mckinnon for all-time points.
That's a couple of years down the road.
Yeah. So you know what? He'll get within 1 point, and then they'll trade him so Mckinnon's record could stand strong for a couple more decades.
That's a very odd thing to call out.
I'm a Stan guy, man. Stan Mckinnon, the only Stan I like, Mckinnon.
Okay.
All right. So you mentioned a little bit trade rumors. I feel like it's really early right now, but
still is.
The buzz is going like off the charts for the Hawks lately. Like I understand
Fleury,
yeah, Fleury, which is the normal. He's come out and he's pretty much declined a couple trades.
He doesn't want to go to Washington.
Yep, because he's still a Pittsburgh Penguin at heart.
Yep. He said that if he gets traded, he wants to go somewhere where he can win, which is like it's hard because there's only a few playoff bound teams that are in playoff spots right now that could use a goalie. There's not very many that absolutely need one, but I don't know, man. It'd be great if like Colorado really wanted to get Fleury in net, but they're doing well. Like
I
guess Edmonton
Florida
still is a big thing.
Apparently, though, Edmonton is a veto from Fleury because he does not see them as a true contender.
Yeah, they're not a great team.
Which is funny because I think if they had Fleury, they would take that step up.
They're also on a 5-game winning streak since they lost to the Hawks and fired their coach.
Yeah, I don't get Edmonton.
Well, all right. So they played the Islanders, who are just garbage this year. They played San Jose, LA, Anaheim, and Winnipeg. And they're getting smoked right now, actually, 5-1 against Minnesota.
I don't understand Minnesota this year. Like, this year doesn't make sense. Like, it really doesn't. And I love it.
Like, currently, the teams that they played since they lost to the Hawks, I think no one. Oh, LA's the only, like, one in a playoff spot. And then Minnesota being, like, firmly in a playoff spot, they're getting smoked right now. So, you know, you win the games against the teams that are not doing too hot. Except for the Hawks.
Yeah. There was supposedly thinking of like trade destinations for Fleury. The only one I'm kind of like looking at that could potentially use him would be Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might be a good spot.
Yeah. I've been seeing that like DeSmith and Jari's having a great season.
Yeah.
Like they're playing really well. But like would they want to trade for Fleury, like nostalgia factor? Like like what the Hawks would be doing.
Yeah.
What about like Toronto? Like Campbell's not playing too hot anymore.
I had a kind of a joke proposal for you, but I don't know that you did bring up his name in there. What if
Campbell for Fleury?
They also like DeHaan. I don't know if they're still looking for a defenseman because of the trade they just made with Arizona, but do a little Fleury DeHaan package for Campbell and some sort of like, a prospect or like some draft picks.
we would have to take on like another contract for sure because Campbell's contract is only 1.6.
You probably had to get like Arizona involved, use some of their cap space.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they would trade Jack Campbell though going into the playoffs.
See, that's what I think too. Like that, but that's what I'm like. If Campbell's struggling,
yeah, he's struggling lately, but he still has he's been having a great season.
Yeah, but it can just
he still has a 9.22 save percentage, and his goals against average is still 2.41.
The thing with Campbell is that he played so much in the first part of the season that I think it's just catching up with him now.
Possibly. I mean, they might have to just ride Mrazek for a little bit, but
yeah.
I don't even know.
Like at one point,
I didn't even realize Mrazek has a no trade clause.
Yeah. There was on the Steve Dangle podcast that at one point they were like, hey, they do know they have another goalie, right? Like they don't have to play Campbell every game.
Yeah.
So
they actually are paying another goalie more.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that you're looking at, the window for Fleury to get moved based on what he's looking for is like, it's very small. I think Boston, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't see Fleury like really welcoming a trade to like any Eastern Conference like team that he played a lot.
Against. Yeah.
It'd be great is if the Rangers were looking for like an insane 1-2 like Shesterkin and Fleury and like traded us Georgiev.
I would take that. Vegas is checked in on him apparently because apparently Lehner's got a shoulder issue. Yeah. Which that was another big thing. It got denied pretty quickly, but there was a rumor that Vegas was asking about Fleury.
Yeah.
And it would have been absolutely hilarious. We traded him for nothing. And then we end up getting back like picks and all this stuff for him just to give back to his old team. Like that would have been the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. It would have ended up being just like taking half of his contract for some picks.
Yeah.
And cap relief like during the season.
That's another one you'd have to get another team involved because Vegas is so strapped for cash right now.
Yeah, Vegas isn't. It's crazy how they can do what they're doing. I mean, they have Mark Stone on LTIR until the playoffs start. Well, he'll be like 100% ready to go.
Such a joke. It is such a joke.
What is he gonna? He's on LTIR now too, or no?
I don't know if he's actually.
He's not. No, he's not.
I think that they're trying to see if he can play through it.
Alec Martinez is in LTIR. So between those, like Martinez and Mark Stone are like $14 million combined. I'm sure they'll be ready to go game 1 playoffs.
It's such a joke. They gotta fucking fix that.
All right, let's see. Where else could Fleury go? I don't know, like Colorado, like I said, but who knows?
Well, Colorado said that one. Colorado's got that one defensive prospect apparently on the block if for the right price.
Who?
I gotta see. If once I see his name again, let's see.
Colorado. He's not in the NHL right now?
I don't believe so. Justin Barron.
Oh, okay.
He apparently is up for grabs.
First rounder in 2020.
Yeah, he
great
is available for the right price.
Okay. Well, I mean,
but Darcy Kemper, man, he's like 18-0-2 in his last like 20 games.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks. I wish he was still playing like poorly. I was saying like St. Louis. Can you imagine?
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't want to help St. Louis at all, but
you can give us every like you can
Binnington is having a not terrible, I guess, but like not a good season. It's 3.35 and a less than 900 save percentage in 24 games.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
he's being outplayed by Billy Husso.
Pump it straight into my veins, Binnington. You.
He's still got how many years? He's got a full no trade clause. With
4.
This is the first year of his like 6-year contract. Oh yeah, That sucks. Sucks to
It
suck.
just sucks so that it's like they're still doing well, even though he's struggling. I wish it was just a total like across the board, like you all suck and Bennington sucks and suck it for that.
Suck it.
But yeah, like it's Minnesota maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Minnesota, Kim Talbot's just been solid when he's been there. They're gonna, they need. I honestly still think Minnesota needs to go all in like now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because I mean, well, that's the thing that sucks though too. Because they can't really go all in because what they'll need within the next few years is all their picks and prospects. But it's like, now's your chance because you're a playoff bound team, but you're going to be so screwed cap wise starting like next season. Like you kind of have to go all, like as in as you possibly can. You have $12 million, almost $13 million in buyout next season, and then almost 15 the two after that.
Not good.
Yeah, man. Like if you're gonna go for the cup, it's gonna be real hard to do it with fucking almost 13 million less cap space next year.
I mean, so like they bring in. Oh, I'm wondering why I can't find their buyout stuff because I'm on Flyers page. If they bring in Fleury, Claude Giroux said if he can't go to Colorado, Minnesota is one of the teams he'd be interested in. Like they could be a threat.
Yeah, but
again, like you said, though, what are they going
to do? Are they going to give up their prospects and just be complete shit the next few years? Like, dude, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They need to pull the trigger on either getting it done this year. Because like, what do you do? Do you just like play it out and see how well you do? And then it's like, all right, well, we gave it a good run this season. We're kind of screwed the next three.
And you got to ask yourself though, too, like, yeah, it's one thing, get to the playoffs. It's anybody's game type of situation, but you're going to have to go through Colorado, who is just an absolute juggernaut right now. Like, you got to be honest with yourself. Do you realistically have a chance to go through Colorado?
You know what's funny though? That's kind of what Columbus did a few years ago. Right. When they went all in. They went all in because they knew they weren't going to be keeping Panarin or Bobrovsky. And they brought in Duchesne and Dzingel, and then they swept the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning.
Right, but like you said though, the only difference is they weren't screwed in cap the next couple of years.
No, but they knew they had to go all in.
Yeah,
so
but they still had the room.
Does Tampa or does Minnesota feel like they need to go all in? Like, because in my head, like that's what you need to do because you are going to be it's going to be real hard to do that in the next couple seasons.
You either have to have it's Stanley Cup or bust this year, and then the next 3-4 years is just going to suck, or you play it safe and just hope together. God,
you keep all your picks and you just draft because your team's going to probably be a shell of itself with $14 million on average, just like tied up in buyout. Jesus, where else could Fleury go?
Yeah, so with this being
he's not
said,
going to Calgary. Like Markstrom holds like 15% of the fucking shutouts this season.
Yeah, Markstrom is just an absolute beast right now.
Nashville has Saros, who's playing insane. LA, I mean, they're in a wild card spot. Like that would be, I wouldn't mind making a trade with LA, but I don't know if they would pull Fleury over. I could see that happening if they wanted to like kind of do a little bit of a run.
Anaheim won't do anything. They got Gibson, and they are just like they're the feel good story. Like, okay, we're good where we're at type of thing, but we're not going to go anywhere.
Dallas, maybe.
They already got too many goalies.
Yeah, they have Holtby, they have Ettinger,
and they're another team that I don't think. Man, I don't know. The more we talk about this, the more I think Fleury's staying.
I do too. I think he's just going to play out the season. Unless like some weird, crazy thing happens and like, oh, you know what? Actually, I don't say that, don't say this, that he's going to just stay there because if somebody gets hurt, like
Fair.
Hawks are
Yeah.
going to be the first team that team's calling.
As it is right now, though, I think he's staying.
Yeah.
And I can see him signing.
The places that make the most sense are places that he wouldn't want to go to, like
Correct.
Washington and Edmonton.
And then that makes you wonder about next year, too, because he says he probably has one more year in him.
Yeah.
After this year.
He
doesn't like moving his family around. So you got to imagine it's going to be Vegas, Pittsburgh, or Chicago he signs with.
Right.
I wouldn't mind having Fleury for the last season for his farewell tour.
Yeah, that would be great.
I would love it. I love the guy. Like Strome was talking about him too. And they're like, it's so fun. He goes like, it's just fun playing with him because it's like, you don't see anybody out there having as much fun as he is, kissing the post, rubbing the post. He's like, after big save, you just hear him hyping himself up. Like he's just always got a smile on his face. Like I fucking love Fleury.
He's great. Yeah. Other rumors. It was rumored that the Hawks received an offer for Brandon Hagel for a first and a prospect. And the Hawks were like, nah.
No deal. And I think you're insane if you take that.
Yeah. Like if you're getting a team that's clearly playoff bound, and they want Hagel and they want to give you a first and a prospect, that first is likely going to be a very late first rounder, which isn't a guarantee to anything. And then, I mean, prospects are, unless it was like a high first round prospect, like those are like the only guys that are kind of like somewhat guaranteed. Like, what are you hoping? We talked about it before, but like you're hoping like, oh man, we have this shiny, awesome Hagel, or we can have this prospect and pick. It could even turn out to be a shiny, awesome Hagel.
Right. Yeah.
Like, just keep the shiny, awesome Hagel. Like I don't.
Hagel is, where is it?
He's not a UFA. He's got 2 years left after this at only 1.5 million. It's
2 years left on his deal. 23 years old. Like, man, where is it? Stats.
He's just an
27
points.
Player. Yeah, 27 points in 45 games. He had 52 points last year. I'm sorry, 24 points in 52 games last year.
He's fourth on the team in points. He's second on the team in goals.
And I think he's not reaching full potential because he's playing hurt. I mean, he's been hurt a couple times this year, and I don't think he's 100%.
He's great.
And he's still playing very impressive hockey.
I enjoy seeing him out there all the time. He's a lot of people that I've seen online say that like, oh, you can find those types of players like anywhere. It's like, I mean, no, you really can't. Like you can find players that kind of have the same play style as him, but like he produces more. He's all over the puck. He actually has playmaking abilities as well as like just grinding abilities. He's got touch and like scoring as well. Like he's got the way he plays most of the time is reminiscent of players like Barclay Goodrow and what's the other guy's name? Blake Coleman. Like those types of players that Tampa Bay loaded up on for their cup run. But like he also adds scoring to it.
He's got, so the best way I saw it described is like he's got the grittiness of Andrew Shaw with the scoring potential of Patrick Sharp.
I don't know. Sharpie was a pure goal scorer. He was great.
But so yeah, and people say you don't build your team around a Hagel. Yeah, Hagel, you do.
Hagel actually kind of reminds me. Yeah, like you said, he's a little bit gritty like Shaw, but he reminds me of like a Sod type player where he can get the points. Like that better. Yeah. But he's got a little bit more Shaw in him.
Yeah, he's got a good like two, and he's playing the body. Yeah, two-way good guy. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's like people are like, oh, you don't build your team around a Hagel type player. It's like, yeah, you do. You have different tiers of what you build around. You have tier 1, which is DeBrincat. Yeah. That's the type of player you build around DeBrincat. That's bread and butter. That's your number one guy. That's your star.
That's your first liner.
Then you got your supporting. You got your supporting guys. Hagel fits in that supporting role perfectly.
Hagel's the type of player that plays all three top lines wherever you need him. If you want him to be on the scoring line, he's scoring. If you want him to be on the checking line, he's checking. Like, he's just all over. Not many players can do that.
What would it take for you to listen to a trade offer for him?
I mean, I just don't think, unless it's like 2 firsts.
Fair.
And like,
okay.
But I don't know. He's only 23.
Yeah.
He's still an RFA when his deal is up. So like, I don't know. I just don't see that there's any reason to move him. I think that he's in the same age range as DeBrincat. Like, you build with these guys. You let them play together for long. Like,
yeah, he's a year younger than DeBrincat.
Like, the type of players that I think people are seeing Hagel as like Entwistle. Entwistle plays similar to Hagel, where he's like kind of all over the place, but he doesn't have the same scoring touch. Like, if you want a 3rd, 4th line grinder, trade Entwistle. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you're not trading Hagel.
What you want Entwistle to be is Hagel.
Yeah.
You don't put them in the same group right now. What you say is, I want Entwistle to develop into a Brandon Hagel.
Yeah.
And and you're saying that for a 23-year-old, and you just want to jump at the first, like, a 1st-round pick and a prospect. Yeah, we need a 1st-round pick. I wholeheartedly agree with that. We need to get one. He's not the guy you move for it.
No. The guys you move for a 1st rounder are like Calvin DeHaan, Marc-Andre Fleury. Like, I don't know if Calvin DeHaan's going to, he could, depending on how the market is for defensemen, especially defensive defensemen. I love Calvin DeHaan.
I
would love
to
keep Calvin DeHaan.
Yeah.
But if we're looking to like recoup a 1st rounder, you get a playoff team that is looking for a stay-at-home defenseman that blocks shots. Calvin DeHaan is worth if the team's going deep, let's just say that he's worth at least 28th overall in the draft.
Didn't Savard last year get a trade for a 1st round?
Yeah.
If Savard can get a 1st round, I think we can get a 1st round for DeHaan.
The thing with David Savard, though, I don't know if he had more extra years on his contract.
No, because he signed with Montreal, I thought. Hoop fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is too good to pass up. I'm talking between the legs, 360 windmill good. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's that simple. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still take your shot at a big payday. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Basketball Contest. DraftKings is giving away all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with their first deposit. So all you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and older, minimum age, location requirements vary by jurisdictions. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full detail, list of requirements and state specifications. Responsible for gambling resources. Void where prohibited. Minimum $5 deposit. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In New York, call 877-8 Hope NY or text Hope NY 467-369.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is he? Oh, that's true.
Didn't he get traded to Tampa?
Yeah, he got traded. Well, he got traded to Tampa. It was like one of those weird deals where he was like traded somewhere and then some more, somebody else like retained some salary, I believe.
Yeah, it was one
hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Who is playing for Montreal? Jonathan Drouin, Christian Dvorak, Ben Sherratt, David Savard, Joel Edmondson, Jake Allen, Tyler Pitlick, and Matthew Perreault are all on injured reserve. And then, Shea Weber is clearly on long-term injured reserve and Carey Price is in players' assistance. Like, holy shit.
Tampa or Columbus Blue Jacket got a 1st round and a 3rd round from Tampa. The Red Wings got a 4th round from Tampa. and Tampa got David Savard and Brian Lashoff.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So he was also, this is like the same thing. So David Savard was 30 last year. He was his cap hit pretty low? No, his cap was 4.25 last year. And that's exactly what Calvin DeHaan is at, I think, or he might be at 4.5. But Calvin DeHaan is 30. He blocks a lot of shots, stay-at-home defenseman. His cap hit is 4.5. It's the exact same situation. So
Yeah.
I think you're right. If David Savard gets a first rounder last year, then Calvin DeHaan can probably get a first rounder this 100%. Year.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's why Fleury's like a first and a prospect. Because, I mean, I know we really want a first, but like, I don't have to give up Fleury for nothing.
Yeah, just because you can move him doesn't mean you have to.
Right.
Fleury's the type of guy
we did get him for nothing.
Exactly. And he's the type of guy too that I'm much rather enjoy in a full season with Fleury, with how funny he is and just how amazing he is on the ice, and watching that for a full year and lose him for nothing than just trading him just to trade him.
Right. Plus, I think he just deserves
exactly
to go where he wants.
He deserves, yeah, exactly, 100%. If it's not if he's not 100%, yeah, this is what I want. He has every right, especially after what he's gone through his career with being dealt.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is when it starts to get a little bit more fun as it gets closer and closer. Once we hit March, then it's going to be watch out, expect an announcement in 24 hours, and that's going to be for everything. Expect an announcement in 24 hours.
We're I think 1 month out exactly when this gets posted from the trade deadline. I think it's March 21st.
Yes, that sounds right. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, March 21st. Yeah, it's a Monday, March 21st. So we're exactly a month out.
Perfect.
So again, this is probably gonna be a topic on here a lot because a lot of rumors are gonna come up, and it sucks when your team is as bad as the Hawks are because that's all you're gonna hear. I'm tired of seeing articles. I don't read them. Because they just look like they're ruined by people looking for clickbait and all that kind of stuff. But Lincoln not getting traded anywhere. He's not going anywhere. I'm sorry. Stop even talking about that. Hagel, he's not going anywhere. Sorry, not happening. Kane, not going anywhere unless they get blown away with multiple first round picks and prospects and NHL ready players. Not happening. So just stop. There really is the only people I truly see getting dealt that could be dealt is Fleury, Carpenter, DeHaan, Kubalik.
Yeah.
Those are the only names I think you need to focus on right now.
Yeah, true. I can see those. I don't know if they still want to maybe get rid of Strome. The way if Strome's going to start playing more consistently, I would like to keep him because I think that we might be able to get him on a cheaper deal still.
I still say if he's playing good around the deadline,
it's one of those things that if he plays consistently till the end of the season and we don't trade him and he plays well, it's okay, can you keep doing this, please?
I just hope if we end up holding on to him, I just hope it doesn't come out oh, well, they could have got this and it's some awesome trade package. And then he turns into shit and it's fuck, why did we not just jump at that?
I don't think they're going to get some awesome trade package when the asking price was a third rounder.
Dude, no, for his asking price was a fourth, I thought.
I don't care. It's still kind of stupid.
I don't know. I am not a Strome fan. I'm just, the quicker we can move him, the better, in my opinion.
I just enjoy the fact that we are hoarding third overall centers.
It's gonna, and I guess the main thing too will just be who this new GM is and what they're going to want to do because they're going to put their print on this team.
Speaking of new GMs,
yeah. Who was the one that you interviewed? I didn't write it down.
It's Matthew Darsh, who's the Tampa Bay Lightning director of hockey ops. He's just the latest guy that they've
confirmed an
interview with.
And then
I think you have the name, but they were interested in, I believe,
Teresa Resch or Resch?
Resch, who is like the Toronto Raptors executive,
like an executive for the Toronto Raptors. First
Okay.
female candidate, like connected to the Blackhawks. And again, like this kind of goes back to the Cubs guy that they interviewed. Like
hitting outside people.
the thing that worries me about that, normally I say, hey, that's cool. Think outside the box, maybe a different look at it. But the fact that they keep beating home that whoever has this position has the highest position in hockey ops, it scares me to go to an outside of hockey person.
Yeah. I mean,
that worries me.
They're going to have to really trust like the people that are like their scouts and like their whole just front office team.
Their assistant GM it's gonna be essentially their assistant GM is gonna have to essentially be
if Kyle Davidson goes back to being the assistant GM and he's going to be GMing under somebody that has no like hockey experience, you just kind of wonder for him like what, like why?
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm all for whatever they want to do if it works out. I get super nervous about the whole.
Oh, Teresa Resch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just I get
VP of basketball operations. That's what she is.
Yeah. If there was another person in place, kind of, but I guess that would be the assistant GM.
I mean, here's the thing. She is the VP of basketball operations for the Toronto Raptors. So, I mean, she could be super hockey. It's just like who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I get really nervous about that. And they need to hit a home run here with who they hire. And
yeah, I think I'm still leaning towards like Tulski.
Yeah, me too.
The AGM in
Carolina.
Just because, I mean, the way that they've shaped that team into what it is, like they totally took advantage of the Hawks when they needed to, like, and it's worked out for them.
Yeah. Here's a thing too, like, so the Taves' future has been talked about a lot recently too, with his latest because on the IR now for another concussion. Kind of wonder if he just calls it a career and transitions to a front office position and starts trying to become a Stevie Y.
Do you don't think that he plays out the rest of his contract?
See, I think he will.
Yeah. I mean, it's only one more season.
Right. And I just think the thing with Taves, though, that I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, is just because how much he cares about his body and his health and all that. I can see him and having the firsthand experience of witnessing with Shaw with concussions and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not shocked either way. No matter what he announces or decides to do, I'm not shocked either way. If he plays, I expect it just because he's got one more year. But if he doesn't play, with everything he's gone through, like theoretically, he's got nothing to prove.
True.
There's nothing more that he can do in hockey, unless you want to be unrealistic and say go for a Rocket or Art Ross or something like that. But I don't know. But I think I feel like he's GM in waiting. Yeah, I feel like he'll be a very good candidate down the line once he kind of gets the business side of it learned and all that.
Right. He gets a front office job with the Hawks and works his way into a possible GM role. And then some of the best captains in history, Yzerman, Sakic, and Jarom and Tanner.
Yeah. I mean, he's a very smart hockey guy. And I don't know if he would transition well to a coach position. I think more of the guys that you would see would be a better coach would be like the Seabrook type of guy. Taves, I think would be too, I don't know, emotional would be the right word to say it, but I think he just would be better using his knowledge to build a team versus leading a team as a coach. I
mean, I would absolutely love to have, like, I mean, you get that legacy that Stevie Y has in Detroit. And if Jonathan Toews had that in Chicago, that would just be
awesome.
Really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. But yeah, I mean, I could see it happening both ways. Like he plays out this contract. I mean, I could see him keep going and like trying to do as much as he can. I can also see him retiring. If he were to be just like LTIR'd for the rest of his contract, that'd be pretty crazy. So I wonder if they would like dangle that LTIR contract to somebody and be like, hey, like,
See,
we'll trade you this Tays contract and take on some salary and like a first from somebody.
I hope, because none of the other guys from that core from those Stanley Cup teams have been able to go out on their terms.
Yeah, dude.
That's definitely he definitely is one that deserves to go out. I mean, they all do, but it would be a goddamn travesty if he doesn't get to go out.
Still going. He's still going.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so I guess I should say in his own terms as a member of the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Getting traded to go put on the LTIR in Arizona or in Tampa Bay.
Oh.
Like, okay, this is my last game as a Blackhawk, and then I'm calling it a career.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I hope he comes back and has like I would love to see him play a whole season next year.
Yeah.
Because I think he's still a huge asset as a leader, and
100%
have the young guys still like learn from him. He's still our like top fucking face-off guy. Like
100%.
He needs to teach Kirby Doc like how to take face-offs.
I think the best thing for Kirby would be move to wing.
I don't know, man. He's a huge like I think he's a huge bonus in the middle with how big he is in front of the net.
I just feel like it's too much pressure on him.
Well, I mean, he's gonna learn. It's fine. I think one of the things he probably I saw it online, but something McKinnon did was get a sports therapist, and it was just somebody to help him like tune out all the noise, and then that's when he skyrocketed his points, went from like 50 points to like 96 that season. Yeah, I mean, he's got the skill to do that, but he tuned out like all of the media and like everybody just saying like he's not being what he was or was supposed to be and like all this shit.
Did he also get tuned out of like common sense and not throwing cheap shots?
Oh, dude, he's frustrated. He's on a war path this year of just like fucking wanting to injure everybody. Was he up for the Lady Bing a few years ago or no?
I think so. It sounds like, I mean, and now he pretty much probably ruined Nolan Patrick's career.
He won the Lady Bing in like 2020. Are you kidding me? This fucking guy? I mean, I went to that Colorado game at the beginning of January and I was just like, he got an interference penalty. He got somebody on the McCarr like OT insanely awesome goal. Like, he set a screen where he like he put his shoulder into somebody's fucking jaw. And I was like, yo, fuck McKinnon.
He's like the anti-Mikita. Like Mikita was a dirty player and then had a kid and like changed his game. And now McKinnon was like a good guy. And now he's like, fuck you all.
He's like, I haven't won a cup. I'm fucking pissed. And I'm going to like ruin everybody. It's like, okay.
All right.
Other thing though, only other thing I got for the Hawks is there is rumors. I don't even know if I can find it anywhere, but I saw it online. There is a guy in the KHL named Andrei Kuzmenko who the Hawks are apparently interested in. I think he's lighting it up. Like when I checked his points last, he had like 56 points in like 40 some games, 53 points in 45 games in the KHL. He's 26 years old. I saw like a couple articles. It's not like he would be like a Panarin. I mean, it's hard to get like a Panarin.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're getting 53 points in 45 games in the K, like that's still easily transferable over to the NHL. Yeah, if you look up his name, it's Andre Andrei and then Kuzmenko Kuzmenko. Some of the first articles are about like Blackhawks are expected to pursue him. He's the top KHL free agent. And I think it's pretty funny because it's just like that's what the Hawks have been doing the last few years. Is typically they get somebody from Europe or Russia, at least in the off season, and because they haven't done shit with a lot of their picks.
Yeah, I mean,
so works out when they have like European and Russian scouts that are. I mean, it's not hard to scout the guy that's like one of the top point getters and is a free agent, but
I mean, that's what you need.
great.
I mean, you need these little pieces here and there that kind of really tie this team together, and that really could do it.
I mean, if he could come in and if we end up trading Kubalik, like, and just fill that role with like that amount of points or maybe a little bit more. Here's the thing with Kubalik that like I'm frustrated with, because I mean, I think we wanted Kubalik to replicate his rookie season so much more than he can, because his rookie season he was shooting 20%.
It was it was ridiculous.
That's
it was
insane. And now he's shooting like half that, but he's not getting a ton of shots off. Like he's got 10 goals. I think he's only got like a little over 100 shots. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's getting the puck to the net as much. Like when we first got him, it seemed like he was shooting from anywhere and everywhere, and things were just going in. But
yeah, I watching him today too. He seemed very like shooting was the last thing on his mind.
Yeah, I think Kubalik's a fine player, but it's one of those things where I think the Hawks might end up having to. I feel like they might overpay to keep him, rather than I think they could probably get a pretty good deal if they were to trade him, and then he might just like have like a decent career. I think he'll be better than like, what was it? What was the one? Kubalik. No, not Kubalik. What the fuck? It was the other DK that we traded for Olimata.
Takan.
It's why can't I think of it? It's Dominic something.
Dominic I know exactly who you're talking about too, and it's
because Kubalik's name is just stuck in my head.
Cahoon? Oh my god,
it's Cahoon, isn't it?
Cahoon, yeah.
Cahoon, Dominic Cahoon. Yes, okay. I think he'd have a better career than Cahoon, maybe, or it could be pretty similar. But I would like to see if the Hawks can just like capitalize on what his trade value is possibly at right now.
The whole thing too with Kubalik, it's kind of really bitter for me too, because it was like, okay, is it Kubalik or Pia Suter?
Yeah, right.
And I really like I like Kubalik, but I really like Suter.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have Suter, especially this year, but I don't know if a lot of things would have worked out a certain way.
And you were pretty spot on. 10 goals, 107 shots, 9.3, 194 total shot attempts so far.
Oh, wow, really? He's just missing the net a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Or he's getting blocked, I guess.
In 56 games last year, he had 260 total shot attempts, and his rookie season, 270 in 68 games.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's somebody that they can capitalize on getting good trade value for now, rather than just hoping he goes back to getting 30 goals, you know?
Yeah. All right. I got one thing for you, and then we'll switch NHL talk. We'll wrap it up. Here. So we keep talking about the GM search and all that, but also head coaching is going to be a big thing going into this offseason too. And kind of looking back at like who can be the potential head coach a lot. The hardest thing is a recency bias type of thing about who got fired recently and all that kind of stuff. And there's all these guys you kind of forget about that as an option. I have a guy that I think might be a solid option that a lot of people probably forgot about. What if the Hawks brought in Jim Montgomery as the head coach? He was the head coach for Dallas Stars, then for a year and a half, got fired because of the whole alcohol issue.
And he went to like rehab?
He went to rehab and all that. In 113 games as a head coach, he's 60, 43, and 10, including that first year, 43, 32, and 7, which brought them to the second round of the playoffs, finished 7-6 in the playoffs that year. Currently, he's the assistant coach for the St. Louis Blues. He signed a 2-year contract in 2020, so he'll be available this offseason.
I don't know.
He worked. What he really got him on the radar of a lot of teams was his work with Denver University, where he put up a 125, 57, and 26 record.
When was he coaching at Denver? Did he coach Ian Mitchell at all?
2013 through 2018. So yes.
So he did coach Ian Mitchell.
Yes, national champion in 2016, 2017.
That'd be pretty cool.
So he knows how to coach young guys.
And then there's also another kid we have from Denver, don't we?
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna find it. I find his name. Oh, is he not? Does he not have a contract? Is he still in Denver?
I think he's still in Denver. Yeah.
It's shit. It was the kid that we got in the Vegas trade, didn't we? For Laner.
Yeah.
Here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. What is this trade? Oh, that's Yanmark. No.
But basically,
here we go. No.
He's got success coaching younger guys. With
Stanislav Deming.
Yeah.
Oh, he's at UC Amherst now. Or yeah, UMass. What am I thinking? UMass Amherst. Okay. But yeah, he was at Denver from 2018 to 2021.
So he only coached Ian Mitchell his last year as the head
coach at Denver.
Yeah.
It's not too shabby, though.
But Mitchell in that season, 41 games, 2 goals, 28 assists for 30 points.
Yeah, and that's his freshman year, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
So, I mean, it's a guy to think about, like, outside the box. He can proves that he can work with the younger guys. He can obviously translate his game to NHL quality because he was able to bring the Dallas Stars to a playoff position and win a playoff round. Unfortunately, he just had some personal things that just kind of got the best of him that he seems to have taken care of, and he's back in the game, assistant coaching for the St. Louis Blues. Might be an option.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's good. It's not like the old guys, like stale names or anything like that get tossed around like the league whenever they lose a job.
So that's an idea. I don't know. I would love to know what everybody thinks about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how did the Blues, or not the Blues, how did Dallas do defensively those years? Because I know they have big names like Klingberg, and I guess they would have just drafted like Heiskanen like his last year there, because wasn't he like 2018?
I believe so. They were pretty much 500 for goals, 4 goals against. 210 for, 202 against. But who were their goalies that year too? It was what?
That was Bishop and Hudobin, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. Man, should probably look this up beforehand.
Yeah. See, I was trying to be sneaky.
But you were trying to be sneaky about it, so
yeah.
I didn't know. All right.
What did I say, 18-19 season?
Yeah. It says he got fired in December 19.
So yeah, Khudobin and Bishop.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have a better goalie tandem than what we possibly have next year, but you got to start building somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's the time to put his print on the team and let him develop how they want and get his game going. And who knows?
Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Just some food for thought there.
Yeah.
Real quick, we'll go through NHL talk when we'll roll this off because we're kind of talking for a little bit here.
Yes.
We already talked about the Oilers making a coaching change. Another coaching change that happened was Montreal. They brought in Martin St. Louis to be the interim head coach there, who is, with that hiring, becomes the best player on their team.
Yep.
And he has the very creepy stat of first goal, first win as a player, and first win as a coach, all against the St. Louis Blues. So St. Louis just owns St. Louis.
Yep. They're the St. Louis Blues.
500 goals for Sidney Crosby.
Yep. What a good guy. Didn't he get it against Philly?
Yep, against Philly.
Like,
so
how fucking great is that? How
always,
poetic.
Always perfect. We got
I'm sure Giroux probably gave him some shit.
100%. Too bad Pronger wasn't out there to steal the puck.
Yeah, right.
We got a quick little preview of the Arizona community ice rink that they will be playing in next year.
Yo, I'm gonna be trying to go to that game.
It's gonna, like I said,
I
said it would be. I'm like, it's an absolute joke that that's an NHL arena for the next 3 years. But I fucking would love to go see a game there because it's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be like going to like a Chicago Steel game. Like that's literally what the rink looks like.
Yeah.
It's the same as Edge West in Bensonville.
Oh my god, it's
too funny.
It's so bad, but so good. The last thing I have is the Tyler Toffoli trade.
Yeah,
which I just closed out my freaking.
That's all right. I got it here.
Okay.
So Montreal trades Toffoli to Calgary. They got quite a package back, actually. They get Tyler Pitlick. They get Emil Heineman. So the funny thing about this Emil Heineman kid is Calgary actually got him as their prospect when they traded Sam Bennett to Florida. He's a second round pick from 2020. Then they get a conditional 2022 first round pick. And the condition is if it's a top 10, it just gets transferred to the next.
Because, year. That's the normal thing you do with first round pick condition. You protect it top 10, not top 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
fucking
right.
Clown.
That's so dumb. Then they get a a 2023 fifth rounder. And then they have a conditional 2024 fourth round pick. And it says that if the Calgary's 2022 first round pick is in the top 10, Calgary has the option to instead transfer their 2023 first round pick. If they elect to transfer the 2023 first round pick instead of 2022, Montreal will also receive the 2024 fourth rounder. So the first round pick's top 10 protected, but they can still get rid of it if they feel like it. But if they do get rid of it, then they also give them the fourth rounder from 2 years from now, which is a weird condition. I love these. Conditionals are great.
It makes no sense though too, because this is not a top 10 pick. It's not going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I mean Calgary's like pretty firmly in a playoff spot, especially in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Tyler Pitlick was also he's an Edmonton draft pick, a second round pick. How the hell did he? Oh, did he? Okay, so I'm so confused. Like looking at Tyler Pitlick's history. I don't understand this. So he was drafted by in 20. Okay, so he's drafted in 2010. I don't know why I think he's a prospect. He was drafted in 2010 by Edmonton. I'm assuming they didn't sign him because he was in Dallas. He gets traded for Ryan Hartman. And I think that was when Ryan Hartman was fishing and didn't know he got traded.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really fucking funny. And then he, I believe, is Seattle's pick. Seattle picked him in the expansion draft from Arizona. This is a weird history he's got here. And then Calgary traded a fourth for him. And then they just traded him away for Tyler Toffoli. What a trip.
And that's also the third Pitlick that Montreal has traded for or has like drafted. So they have really 3 Pitlicks in their organization now.
That's good. That's good stuff. And then Toronto made a trade where they acquired from Arizona. They acquired Ryan Dzingel and Ilya Lyubushkin. Obviously, I think Lyubushkin's the target here because they immediately put Dzingel on waivers. And they ended up giving up Nick Ritchie and a condition. I love this one. It's a conditional second round pick for 2025.
Yeah.
Because they have the option to just take 2 years from now, a third rounder, or they can wait for 4 years and have a second rounder. It's like, that's not Arizona, man. Like, that's not how you acquire like picks and prospects. Like, you're not building your team for 15 years from now. Like, I'm so confused.
Arizona also has gotten, like, I think I saw something in the last 12 months have acquired 20 draft picks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
And they're still going to get more for Kessel. I mean, everybody they're going to be getting draft picks for.
It's really funny that, like, on Cap Friendly, they only track draft picks from 2022, 23, and 24 right now, because there's a possible 2025 out there. They don't have it. They don't have it down. Also, looking at Toronto, they only have a first and a second this year, and then they have a conditional 7th from a trade this past summer, and that Minnesota would receive a 7th round pick if Manel plays 30 games. Who the hell is Manel? Brennan Manel. Weird. But yeah, no, they're going to keep that 7th. Oh, it was a part of the Riley Nash deal where they got him from Columbus. Weird. Okay. Only other thing that's like not really NHL news. The Olympics is over. And Finland won gold. I think it was their first Olympic gold medal.
In men's hockey, yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm glad you said that, because it's like, I'm pretty sure they have multiple gold medals like elsewhere. And then Canada women's beat USA 3-2. I watched that game. It was depressing a little bit. One of the goals was like so frustrating to watch because it looks so soft, but like as a goalie, it's a type of puck that like you didn't get a track of it, and you just kind of like, what just happened? And it went by her. And I was just like, oh my God, I think it was like the first or second goal. And I was like, oh no. Came down to the wire though in that game too.
There was something it was like 3.4 million viewers.
Oh, really?
That game, and it was like the most watched hockey game
for women's hockey
in hockey in general this year.
Oh, actually, another thing. Oh my God, what's the captain? What's the girl? The captain of Canada.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Marie-Philippe Poulin or something like that, right?
The ECHL team.
Yeah, the ECHL team that reached out to like offer her a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking nailed her name. Yeah. How about that? That's wild. I forgot who it was that reached out. What team was it? Yeah, no intention. Medal. Oh, it says they have no intention of joining ECHL team.
Yeah.
But
the gold medal women's hockey game at the Olympics between Canada and the United States averaged 3.54 million viewers, more than any NHL game televised in the U.S. this season.
And she also is the only hockey player to ever score a gold medal or a goal in a gold medal game, like in 4 consecutive, or I guess it doesn't have to be 4 consecutive, but it was in 4 gold medal games.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane.
It's insane. Yeah. It's nuts.
I think I saw somewhere she has like 4 goals in the last 2 gold medal games as well. Like, that's crazy.
I really hope that this is the start of like women's hockey getting more recognition. It was like, it really is. It's a different game. Like, be honest, it is a completely different game than men's hockey. Like, it's not the physicality that there is in the NHL and all that kind of stuff, but it's still some of the most skillful, entertaining hockey out there, and they deserve more spotlight than what they get.
Where can you catch games? It's on Sportsnet. I thought they were like broadcasting some games on like Twitch or something, but
that was when it was like the NWHL.
Okay, now it's the Professional Women's Hockey
Federation, or PHF or something like that.
Something like that, I guess. I don't know. It's great. It's pretty cool stuff though. Like the USA team came to Albuquerque and played the NAHL team here in preparation for these Olympics. So that's pretty neat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, I wonder if like a bunch of like young girls out here are going to start playing hockey or anything like that after seeing like Team USA here. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So,
that's all I got.
All right. I think that's about it for us. That's episode 169. Tanner, what do you want to call it?
Let's see. It should be. I'm trying to think. It should be like, where in the world is Carmen Fleury gonna go?
You got something a little shorter?
Fleury. Where?
Fleury, where?
Oh, donde está Fleury?
I like Fleury, where?
Oh man, I don't know. I hope he stays, but if we can get something like a first rounder plus would be cool, which is a first rounder would be great. We'll see. Hey, February's almost over, baby.
We're getting there. Nitty gritty time. All right. So that's episode 169. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Leave reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The more reviews we get, the more we get pushed out there. It helps out the show. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network at THPN. DraftKings promo code THPN. No, not at THPN it's at HockeyPodNet for all their social medias. DraftKings code is THPN. Our social media is WCB Podcast. Follow us there. Let us know. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.